Oh hi, in this video we're going to look at binding and two-way binding. We're going to look at a simple way to understand them and program some code that uses different variations of binding in SwiftUI. When you create a variable in Swift, you are creating a reference or pointer to where its value is stored in the computer's memory. To visualize the memory, you can think of it like a spreadsheet with different data stored at different locations on the spreadsheet. Binding basically means bringing things together. In this example, we have two different variables reading the data from the same location or source in the memory, which makes them binding. In the second example, we have a user interface and a variable reading data from the same source in the memory. If the view, for example, was a text field, we could say that the variable and the view are two-way binding as they can both read and write data to the same source. So let's program some examples. Okay, so what we're going to do is create a short program that uses binding to present a second view and also binds a variable in the different views. So let's start off with creating some state variables in our first view. So we'll create @state var, let's call this one switch to second view, and we'll set this to a Boolean value of false. Okay, and the second one we'll create @state var again, and we'll create one called my text, and we'll just create a little message which we're going to print up in our second view, which will say, hello, I am the second view. Okay, that's great. So what I want to do is just go down to this text there, and we'll take that text string out and we'll replace it with tap here. I think we'll take the padding out as well, and we'll just create an untapped gesture, which we just want the code. And then in that untapped gesture, when our tap here is pressed, we're going to change that Boolean value that we set to false to true. So I'm going to put switch to second view equals true. Yep, just below this bracket, we're going to create a sheet to present our second view with. You'll see these quite often in many Apple apps. So we'll just put is presented. And then we want a $sign to show that we're using a binding. So we'll put switch to second view. And we'll just need to put some brackets in there as well. Okay, now we're going to create some action for our second view, but because we haven't created that second view yet, we'll just put a little message in there saying action. Okay, so what we've done is we've binded .sheet, which is a view, with the variable switch to second view. Okay, so let's now create our second view. So we'll just type in struct second view brackets, and then we just need a body in there as well. So var body some view, yeah, and brackets again. So what we're going to do next, we're going to set up a binding variable. So this tells the program that in the future we're going to bind this variable to another variable. So we'll just create @binding, and we'll just put var, and we'll just type contents of my text, and we'll set that to a string. And there we need to create some text as well, so we'll put text, and we'll set that to our variable contents of my text. Okay, let's just go back to our action now, and in .sheet we're going to tell this to present our second view. And open up a set of brackets up, and we're going to put in there, we're going to put contents of my text. As you can see, it's come up with a binding string. So what it's saying is we need to pass this a string that it can bind with. So we're going to bind it with my text. So we need to put $sign in first, just to show that it's binding, and it's my text. So that's the point in the program where we've told those two variables, the state variable and the binding variable, that we want them to work together and read from the same source. So let's run that, and hopefully the program should work. So if we tap on here, yep, you can see it's presented the second view, and it's also pulled through the source of the data for the state variable and the binding variable, which is hello, I am the second view. So I hope that's been of use to you, and once again, thanks very much for watching.